you. I was lost in a maze. Oh, so good to see you.
Good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you, thank
Shall we
you.
have seats?
Yes.
Welcome, James.
Thank you.
In the
This is
Netherlands.
great.
Can you tell us a bit about the Mortality Doctrine?
Yes, absolutely. After finishing the Maze Runner series, I really wanted to do something that felt very different, but also appealed to my fans, to people who loved Maze Runner. And that's what this series is about. It's about artificial intelligence and virtual reality and computers, everything being so advanced that people sometimes can't tell the difference between the real world and the virtual world.
It's also about hacking. How did you do the
hacking,
research?
Coding. Well, actually, my dad was a computer programmer, and he was always on the leading edge of technology. And so I grew up in that environment, and it just felt like a natural fit, something for me to write about.
You like history because of the lessons we can learn from them. What lessons did you put in this story from history?
I think one thing that fascinates me about history is major changes in the world and how they affect society. So like the Industrial Revolution or the Renaissance before that. So I think technology is now the big thing that changes the world. Cell phones, smartphones, and how people react to that and change, how we're all connected now. So that kind of stuff interests me, and if virtual reality and artificial intelligence become extremely advanced, which I think is happening, it will change society.
Do you think it's a good thing?
I think it is a good thing, but it's also, we have to be careful. Computers can be a lot smarter than us, so sometimes it scares me to think of just making them suddenly in charge of everything. Who knows what they could do. But it's also a lot of fun. I mean, for entertainment, for education. I mean, I just wish I could live to be 1,000 years old because I want to see what happens in the world.
Day one, Greenie. Rise and shine.
Are you a disciplined writer?
Yeah, I'm pretty disciplined. I've written at least one book a year for the last 10 years, sometimes two.
How do you do that? You have 4 children and all this attention, and you have to be everywhere to promote.
Sometimes I wonder about like George R.R. Martin, who writes the Game of Thrones. He writes these books that are that thick. My books aren't, quite that thick. I feel like they're not that hard to write. What's hard for me is the editing process.
Okay.
So I love writing the first draft, and I usually do that in 2 or 3 months, which is pretty short.
It is, yes.
But then you have to have the discipline comes in making sure you revise it. So I do 10 drafts probably. By the time you're done, you're sick of it. You want to kill it and stab it and rip it in half.
Really?
Oh yeah. Imagine reading the same book 10 times in a row. You'd get sick of it, right?
That's true, that's true.
And so you're reading your own book over and over, but you have to be disciplined to do it and make it as best as it can possibly be. I visualize my stories cinematically. Mm-hmm. I picture them in my head, almost like I'm seeing a movie in my head. And then I translate that to the written word. And I think that's why they seem a natural fit to be turned back into movies, almost. I feel like I still love movies as much now as I did as a kid.
Is that why you write for young adults?
I think so.
You want to stay in that magic place?
I think in my heart, I'm still that age. Never in my life has storytelling been as magical as when I was a teenager. And so when I write stories for that age, it's my way of returning to that magic. So
The Maze Runner was rejected by several publishers.
Yes,
Does this feel like sweet revenge?
It's easy to say this now, but I'm so glad that it was rejected because I speak at writers' conferences and I speak to aspiring writers all the time, and I'm really glad I can tell them, look, I was rejected many times, so don't feel bad. I think it helped me appreciate my success now, but most importantly, it helped me realize I needed to become better. So I actually worked really hard on the Maze Runner and rewrote it.
Do you hope you help young adults through that confusing phase with your books?
You know, my number one goal is to entertain and to help people escape the real world. You know, a lot of kids have problems, tough days, people might be mean to them. School is very challenging, whatever they're going through.
Yeah.
My number one goal is to just give them an escape and let them, you know, use their imagination to just be entertained and get lost in a story. But I do feel that naturally some themes and lessons come out in my stories. I think some of the major ones are loyalty, friendship, you know, willing to sacrifice for others. So it's not like I'm trying to preach these messages, but I do feel they naturally come out. If a book could pull emotions out of people and help them think about their own lives and the loyalties they have to their friends or to their family or the role they have in society, it's just kind of an added bonus.
And a total different question, but in which world would you rather live, the VirdNet or the Maze?
I would absolutely, definitely, no doubt choose the VirdNet.
Oh.
You think about it, I mean, the Maze does not sound like a very fun place to live. The VirdNet, almost literally anything is possible.
Has possibilities.
And if I could avoid the dangerous parts, it'd be really fun.
I need to know that you're gonna follow the rules.